Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Gabby Beckford. I'm the travel blogger and entrepreneur behind paxlight.com. In college, I won more than $70,000 in scholarships, which included a ton of money for study abroad in one of the most expensive cities in the world, Dubai, UAE, completely funded. Now, 2 years past graduation, I've discovered that there are travel grants and scholarships for non-students too, which means, yes, my fellow 20-somethings and 30-somethings, there are grants and funds out there that will fund you to travel for free. I've got no money out of your pocket. And I've kind of become the opportunity expert because I have such an eye for finding and successfully applying to these opportunities. So let's just get into it. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a successful application. So the example I'm gonna use today is HotelTonight's Spontaneity contest. The deadline is passed, which means that any of the tips that I give you today will not help you in applying to it because it's already closed, so don't get your hopes up. But all of the tips that I give you today are general enough and kind of just more of a mindset to have that will be universally applicable to any other opportunity too. So it's worth watching. Full disclosure, I did not apply to this because the dates that I would have to travel were conflicting with dates that I already had, so I did not apply to this. But I love HotelTonight and I love this contest, so that's why I'm using it. For some background, HotelTonight is a company, I think that's owned by Airbnb, but it's basically an accommodation company and app. So if you are traveling somewhere and your accommodations get canceled, or if you go on a last minute trip and you don't have accommodations, HotelTonight gets you a hotel that night, tonight, for the low. So their spontaneity contest, I'll put it up on the screen. It says, fill out the entry form below and describe what makes you a super planner and how you'd benefit from a spontaneous trip. Winners must be able to travel January 6th through 14th, 2020, and will be notified by email on or around December 11th, 2019. And then there's some terms and conditions. When I first read this, to me it's kind of implied that they're gonna pay for everything, flights, hotels, accommodations, food, all that stuff, which leads me to my first point. Why are they doing this in the first place? So I would say based on the requirements and the structure of the contest that you don't have to be an expert in anything. They don't really have strict requirements other than that you're 18 and you live in the US. This is, to me, clearly for marketing purposes. This is clearly publicity. They want you to go on this trip, sign away all your rights to your photos and videos that you take and are taken of you. The name of the contest is called Spontaneity, and they're asking for people who usually are super over planners who would be interested in a spontaneous trip. So it's obvious to me that this company is looking to use the story of someone who's an overplanner to influence other overplanners who are not their base market, not their demographic, would never give HotelTonight any of their money because they don't do spontaneous things, to give them their money. So that's why. And it makes sense, that's marketing. You get a free trip out of it, so it works for me. So this is a relatively short application. Describe what makes you a super planner and how you'd benefit from a spontaneous trip. And I think a majority of people's first instinct would be to say, I am an overplanner, textbook definition, here's why, XYZ. I would never normally do this. And I think that's kind of the template that 99% of the people who applied to this and just read those first 3 sentences would use. But we are not everybody. So we're gonna try to stand out from that template. We're trying to stand out and show that we really understand what they want and that we can deliver that for them. So what we're gonna do, if you look, you will see it says view the official rules here. And you will be led to extremely long, detailed contest rules that most people won't read because they aren't applying strategically. They are essentially throwing their names in the hat and hoping that they're selected. So we're gonna do that little bit of extra work that most people won't do in hopes that that will lead us to getting a little edge and being selected. So going through these contest rules, I think clauses 4, 5, and 6 are the most important for our applications. Submission guidelines, judging criteria, and the prizes. So the submission guidelines are just good things to keep in mind as you're thinking about your application. Before you even write anything, read the guidelines. I think it's important. It says it must not contain any disparaging, slanderous, or libelous information. So if you think that it's gonna help your application to say, oh, I hate Holiday Inn, haha, go HotelTonight, or I hate Airbnb, go HotelTonight, that's gonna get you automatically disqualified. and it shows that you don't understand the company because Airbnb is connected to HotelTonight. So keep that in mind. It also says no curse words. So if you think that you're going to be spunky and exciting by throwing a curse word in there, that'll get you automatically disqualified. So read the guidelines. Those are going to help you just be technically acceptable as an applicant. Skipping to the prize details, they give you a lot more information than the initial 3-sentence prompt does. You find out that it's 3 days, not 6 days like the dates may originally lead you to believe. It's a domestic trip. It says it's within the US, and it's valued at $10,000. And you get to bring a friend, which is kind of exciting, and that you may be able to tell an interesting story in your application of you and your friend. It says that they will choose 5 applicants, which I originally would read this and think they're choosing 1. So choosing 5 automatically makes me feel that they're trying to get diverse stories and multiple stories for content, and that you have a better chance of being selected if you do all this work, because they're going to choose 5 people. So yeah, it encourages me to be like, okay, let me read through all this stuff because I'm probably going to get chosen. Finally, the judging criteria is the most critical piece to your application that could really set you apart. It specifically says they will judge creativity and persuasiveness in explaining why the entrant needs a spontaneous winter getaway. In event of a tie, the highest score in the creativity category will be determining the winner. Which means creativity, your uniqueness, your shock value, your excitement is being assessed, as well as your storytelling, your word choice, and your general energy and persuasiveness. Those are both being assessed, but creativity is more important. So if you have to choose between the two, tell a more wow shock factor story than a well-written story. Does that make sense? The why is more important than how you deliver it. Knowing all of that information, here are some ideas of what I may have said in my application had I applied, which I did not. Had I tried to be spontaneous in the past and had it blow up in my face and now I'm scarred for life, maybe I'd tell that story. Or how I could never think of doing anything spontaneous. Maybe I grew up really shy, or maybe I'm an only child and I never had a person to go on spontaneous trips with. Now with this contest and a +1, this could be my opportunity. Maybe I've had a job that wouldn't allow me to be spontaneous because of PTO limitations. Maybe I just quit that and I'm free, or I just started a new job with new PTO rules. In 2020, I have a New Year's resolution to say yes to things. That would be a compelling story. That creativity is what's going to get you selected as one of the 5 people. And creativity being over storytelling kind of makes sense because, as we said before, they're looking to make this long-term marketing content. A good story can be revamped, resold, and repackaged millions of times and make them millions of dollars. And all it took was to take 5 people on $10,000 trips. So their ROI is incredible, and it totally makes sense for more companies to do these sponsored trips. Wink, wink, do more of these, people. You can apply this methodology of assessing the opportunity, getting into the mind of the organization or the judges, making yourself stand out with a compelling story or whatever requirements that they specifically say, and executing a good application on any opportunity, not just in travel and not just a grant or a contest. This is just in life. This is a good template for success. So I hope this has helped you guys kind of get a peek into my brain and how I see the world and how I see opportunities, and kind of why I maybe have been so successful is because I see everything very analytically, and I don't think my chances of winning are diminished just because this has been shared to millions of people, because I know what I'm doing. I know I am a good storyteller, and I know I have energy, and I'm just confident. I'm confident in myself, and that's what I want you guys to be, is why would you not win? Ask that question instead of thinking, oh, I'm not gonna win. Why wouldn't you win? Especially with these tips that I just gave you. I have more videos on my YouTube channel about opportunities. This video is also a blog post on paxlight.com, so head over there. And of course, I share the PaxLight's travel ops every week. It's in the highlights, it's in the email list, it's in the 365 master list. It's everywhere. So if you don't know, now you know. Get your FBI hat on and start looking, because I have all the information for you, and 2020 is your year. Let's go for it. Okay? Bye. Wait, I forgot. I mentioned the 365 master list, but I don't know if everyone knows what it is. It's my personal database of more than 100 travel grants, opportunities, conferences, fellowships, internships, leadership summits. It's a database that you can sort by funding amount and country and the type of opportunity it is. And I've just put that on my shop on paxlight.com. So it's taken years for me to build. It's my baby, my pride and joy. I update it daily or weekly, and it has every opportunity ever. If you took me to Red Lobster and paid $15 for my meal, and I gave you $500,000 in travel funds in return, I would say that's a pretty fair deal. Head over to paxlight.com, check that out, and of course I have tons of free resources too, so look around. Okay? Bye.